Hello everybody, and welcome to part 2 of this little series. To all the people who have not seen part 1, I'm afraid you will probably have difficulty to follow this video. Okay, before I start talking about automation for games and why this can be tricky sometimes, I would like to show 4 small changes I made to the GrabImage script. The link to the newest version is in the description. All 4 changes are visible on this screen. The first one is I have added a new variable, this one, start time, and I did this because I wanted to put the timestamp in between 2 mouse clicks, which are recorded with Shift, Control and left mouse button. By the way, you can keep Shift, Control pressed as long as you like and just click the left mouse button and it will be recorded. Now, this variable here, a tick count, which is a built-in variable from AutoHotkey, counts the number of milliseconds since the last reboot of your PC. So that's a huge number, and I check, is it bigger than 500 milliseconds and smaller than 1 minute? And the very first time you enter this subroutine or this hotkey, it will be a huge number, so it will not record the very first click. And then if it is a double click, it will record it as 2 single clicks, which work as a double click. And if it is a single click, it is a single click. Okay, the next one is I put a couple of lines in when you exit the script with Shift, Control and Z, and then it opens the screen grab text file and it opens the directory in which all the screen grab pictures have been saved, so we can compare it. And the last thing is I changed the Shift Control P hotkey, which I used last time in the previous video, because this one is captured by Lost Ark, and Lost Ark is the game I will demonstrate a bit about game automation, and I changed this one to F10. The newest version is of course available, as you can see in the description of this video. Okay, let's quickly see how this works. I start the GrabImage script with F5. This is something which only works in this editor here, site for AutoHotkey. And then I Shift Control double click on this window here and do it again and again and again, and click one last time in here and then Shift Control Z, and you see it brings up the directory where we didn't this time capture any screen. We will do this later, but we captured all the clicks I did. So Control copy this, I close this notepad session, go to the run script and put the mouse clicks into here, Control V, then Control S to save it and F5 to run it, and you see it does what we did. And that's the purpose of this script. And of course you can now change these values here, the sleep time, to maybe half a second or 100 milliseconds or whatever you think is appropriate. I put it to half a second, and again here 500, and then we can save it, Ctrl S and F5 again, and try, and you see that works. Okay, now let's go to the game. I will pause the video here and load it because that takes quite a long time. So see you in a second. Here we are. I have created a new character for this demo. Lost Ark uses an isometric perspective like many other games of this kind. And isometric means the game character is always in the center of the screen. Everything else is constantly changing when the character moves. So finding a defined and static position as an anchor point is important before doing things like repairing your armor or selling things. So if I shift Control and click now, Shift Control click, the player character will follow my clicks, as you can see here, and the clicks are recorded when my script is running. So usually the player follows the mouse as long as the mouse button is pressed, and that is quite easy to script in AutoHotkey, but this is not subject to this video. This video is more subject to don't shoot yourself in the foot and what you have to be careful about. So let's go to the next area, and you see here the next area is we have to define a subclass. So I could take any of these subclasses. I take the first one, doesn't really matter, and we can test this class. Now there is one thing, I mean, probably automation is okay for a repetitive daily and routine tasks, but if you go too far with automation, you must know that your account can get banned. It's against the terms and conditions of all online games that I know. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Now, here are some interesting areas which you will need, and it depends of course on your game. Here is, for example, your health bar. There is an other bar which is also interesting, or might be interesting. There are our skills we have, and remember, when you can send a key, then send a key. That's the safest thing. Here we can also find out, hit F10, and that is a typical shoot yourself in the foot. Did you see? My cursor was inside here. So again F10, and this time cursor is not in here. And there are other things which you must be aware. You see, try to stay on a non-transparent area like here, and make sure that you don't capture also parts of the background, because this will change and you will never be able to find your image. Now, the next thing I would do is I would take a screenshot of this area, again without getting outside, and here with that I know, am I in an area where I can use my skills, or am I in an area where I cannot use them? The next point is, there could be probably a combination of skills which are very effective against a single target or against a lot of weak targets. And as I said, when you have images of all your skills, and I mean all your skills when they are off cooldown, then you can make any combination you like. And as I said, if you go too far, then that could be the end of your account. As you can see here, Q has a cooldown, all these have a cooldown, and there are special skills like S, for example, which lasts as long as I hit the button or keep the button pressed. Another thing we can do easily in AutoHotkey. Then D, I don't know what D means, but it has probably also special meaning because there is a sign in here. It means we can do it in a combination. And F again is a special thing which releases most power when it is done between these two bars. You might have seen, otherwise you can put the video back. So again here we can monitor the health bar, we can take action by sending, for example, health potions. We can send keystrokes as soon as our skills are off cooldown, and we can check combinations of skills for a single target or combinations of skills for a lot of weak targets. That is up to us, but it means we have to do a bit more scripting than just recording clicks. But I think I gave you enough information now to really make something nice and legal. Now, before I stop this, I would like to show two things which happened to me when I prepared the previous video and also this one. Let me change to here, and you see here, this is a typical error. I mean, something which just can happen. You take a screenshot with F10, I must get used to that first, and the cursor is inside, and you will never find this image. This is why it is okay or good to keep them. So if you don't find it, then you can check what you're looking for, and in such a case it's pretty clear what the problem was. I had another one of these which happened when I prepared the previous, the first part of these videos, and you see again here I had the cursor inside. I can, for example, in the screen capture software, I could disable that we do not see the cursor, but that doesn't change the fact that the color has changed. And if I look for such an image and the cursor is not on it, then it will have the background color and not this lighter color here. So again, a situation where you don't find it, and at the beginning ask yourself what went wrong. So keep the images, look at them when they don't find it. The name of the image is pretty clear. You can see this here that's on the screenshots. The name is as you defined yourself. In my case it's demo. And first you see the X position where the image was found, the Y position, the horizontal width and the vertical height. And this is the name you must look for, and this also helps you to find the position on the screen, and this makes it, together with the images you have captured, makes it very easy to locate the problem you have. So that's it for today. I want to finish this now, and we'll end the test and say thank you for your interest. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you some other time. Bye bye.